Hello, Pisces. Welcome to Lotus Heart Tarot. I'm so happy to have you joining me. We are going to dive straight into your reading. If you're new to the channel, welcome, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. These are general readings, so keep that in mind and only take what resonates and leave the rest. All right, you guys. I think you all know that I am a Libra Sun, Rising, and Venus. So this eclipse is like the buildup was so intense, and now it's like I'm feeling so much better. But I also feel like the veil is very thin. You know, that's something that happens around the time of the eclipse. And I just keep getting this energy, and I am also, whenever I get this energy, reminded that this has been showing up in your cards, Pisces. That there is some kind of new beginning, and that this is a tremendous amount, a time of tremendous change for everyone. But I feel like, you know, we've just had that lunar eclipse, and now we're heading toward that solar eclipse on April 8th. And I just keep getting this overriding sensation that, you know, really the more positive energy you put toward it, the more you're focused on the abundance that already exists in your life, stuff like that, the bigger your, you know, the more it's going to be. And this is really not one of those moments to be like, but it never happens for me. Like, really examine that. Why do you say that? What's the payoff in saying that? All right, you guys have Time Machine, which I love this card. You have Roots of Abundance. Hey, we're just talking about that. You have Close Encounters, Waking the Lion, A Merry Motive, A Tender Embrace. Yes, Pisces. I feel like this energy piggybacks a little bit. I think it was yesterday. I'm so bad at remembering what reading is what. But there's an energy here, definitely. I think there is an opportunity to like kind of speed up a timeline a little bit. I feel like this is a pretty magical time, and I feel like there's this energy of, you know, with this Close Encounters card, for some of you, I'm getting this means all different kinds of things. Wow. You know, for some of you, it's just the energy of having tried your hand many times at love, and now this is actually the one. Like, you've come close, but now it's actually here. For others of you, I feel like there is someone very close in your energy, like maybe kind of hoping to, man, you know, what is that song? It's from the movie The Last Showman or something like that. I don't think I ever saw the movie, and someone told me it was from that movie. Okay. I don't sing, so it's very hard for me to communicate messages, but it's it's like, it's the guy that played in Les Mis. I can see him. Anyway, okay, so you have this energy of someone in your environment. It's like they want you to open up to them, or they're wondering if you will open up to them completely. This can be someone from your past who feels like they've hurt you, and that maybe you're not going to be willing to really let them in. But this may also just be someone in your energy, or someone coming towards you who there's something here about wondering if you're going to really open up to them or really give them a chance. Then you have this Waking the Lion and A Merry Motive. Okay, I feel like this is the theme that came out yesterday a little bit, where it's kind of like, Pisces, all of a sudden, I feel like things are going to start really making sense to you, where you're going to have a really complete vision. You're going to really be seeing things very clearly, and like how to really navigate a space for the highest and best possible outcome for yourself here. It's like there's something here. I feel like the energy came across yesterday as some kind of ninja, like social ninja or something like that. Like, you are actually, it's like this is something, it's a kind of a new experience. It's different. It's almost like you're experiencing it from a position of power instead of a position of, I have to sort of do what I kind of have to do. It's different. There's something different about it. And you have a deeper understanding, maybe from past experiences, but this also could be like where you're just seeing things more clearly, or your intuition is on point. Like I said, the veil is really thin right now in between these eclipses, and it will be for a while. But there's something here where you're actually finding people who have positive motivations, or like-minded people, or people who are sort of looking at things the same way you are, or are really sharing your, even if maybe they're not totally where you're at spiritually, or even if they're not totally where you're at, like seeing the bigger picture, or just like, even with compassion, understanding, anything like that. It just feels like you can tell that their intentions are good, their intentions are positive, which I feel like hasn't been the case in the past. It's weird, but I feel like there's just this energy of, it's almost like sighing out, that feeling that you get when you sigh out, where you're like, oh, phew, I don't have to completely like keep my walls up and protect myself against you. So there's definitely something about an opportunity to open up here, Pisces. And it's almost like something that you have not ever really had the chance to explore. I don't know what that means. But you have a tender embrace here. You definitely have someone coming in here, and there is just this recognition of, oh my gosh, you're my person. And Pisces, for some of you, this is definitely an intimate partnership. But for others of you, I can definitely feel like friendships. I feel multiple people, or I feel like this happening in a few different ways, a few different times. And there's a real satisfied feeling, or like I feel satiated, satisfied, full, fulfilled, something like that. Content. Okay. Some of you may be dealing with a Leo. Also with the elephant and the tender embrace, this can be that there were obstacles, or there was something standing in your path that now it has been removed for you. So this could be a past person, or someone coming back around. There is like a flower thing happening here in the crown chakra, the third eye chakra and the crown chakra. And then here in the throat chakra on this elephant. And also with the green like coming out his mouth, it gives me like heart chakra, like someone's finally able to speak emotion possibly. Or you meet someone who can. Wow. All right, Pisces. So yeah, I just keep getting this sense of, this energy of dealing with, I feel like people who are misaligned. Deception is a word that we really refer to. That's a very common word when we see the Seven of Swords. And this feels like someone who's definitely misaligned, someone who's definitely maybe not necessarily who they say they are, or they don't maybe necessarily want the things that they're saying they do, or maybe they want them, but they're not willing to put the work in on themselves or in the situation to actually bring that about. There's, deception is many, many things, right? And it can be really where they have very good intentions, but they themselves are misaligned. They're not listening to their heart, or they're, can be a lot of different things. There is something with the fifth dimension, and yes, this is definitely like, it gives me the feeling of astral traveling. It gives me the feeling of, like definitely energetically fixing something, mending something, finding each other, first, in this ethereal space, and then it happens in real life. So you guys might feel it in a way of like, oh, I had this dream that I met someone, or I had this dream that someone from my past, how ridiculous, came back, or something like that, and then boom, it feels a lot like things that did not work out, or things that you were experiencing a lot more of what was not meant for you than you were of what was meant for you. And I guess it just feels to me like this is a life cycle, or this is just part of life. Like sometimes, things are really working out for you, and sometimes it's like, and there may be a reason for, I'm sure there's a reason for it. But it just feels like, okay, this cycle has changed. Okay, and before this reading, when I was meditating, I got this energy of the period we're in being like the eye of a hurricane, and it was like very graphic. I like I live in Florida, so I've lived through many hurricanes, and I've actually had one pass right over my house, and I lived about 20 miles from where all 4 hurricanes in 2004 crossed over, so I've really had a lot of direct experience with hurricanes. And so it's not an uncommon symbol for me, but this was weird because it was like I was in the eye of the hurricane, like in between these eclipses, like they were almost the eye wall. And then it was really showing me the energetic movement of rapid change, of things happening very quickly, of things coming from the bottom up, especially. And so this feels a little bit like, also things coming down, right? Like that's how a hurricane works. It's cyclical. And when you think about in terms of things coming from the top down, you think about from the ethers into reality. And then you have this card with the fifth dimension. And yes, I hope I said that in a way where it made sense. I definitely, okay. So then you have this spring and receive energy, and like where I live right now, it's spring, but it may not be where you are, and it may not necessarily matter. I honestly feel like this is like when things begin to bloom, when things begin to ripen. We've just had our strawberry festivals here in Florida. Oh, the strawberries this year are so good. And it's so good. Oh my gosh. There's like a little roadside stand that we go and they pick them that day and you eat them that day. And guys, holy moly. But anyway, there is this energy of things blooming, things ripening, things like it's that energy of the Seven of Pentacles, right? Like when you plant the fruit, it's not the same day that you eat it. But when in divine timing, things harvest, things are ready, things have time, and it feels like this is becoming the divine timing. It feels like this is becoming you're very close to, or this eclipse season is bringing about the change that is leading to this harvest, this abundance, this blossoming, this fruitful time, a very abundant time. You have the roots of abundance, and these strawberries feel very, very abundant. So I feel like you have someone coming in. I feel like this is a marked change in something having to do with your relationships. I feel like there have been a lot of things that haven't worked out and have possibly caused your suffering or possibly hurt quite a bit. And it just feels like there's this energy of change, and that there's almost this, first you feel it intuitively, or you have some kind of dream, or there's something that happens here. I feel like that spidey sense, that Piscean intuition kind of kicks in and lets you know, okay, there's something here. And then it comes through, it comes into the material world here shortly. I feel like it's shortly. All right, so let's get some further information here. And it may even be something that didn't work out before. It's now time for it to happen. Like it may have been the wrong time. All right, here we go. A lot of possibilities here, but it definitely feels like change. Okay, let's see. And I feel you're being lifted. Wow. I mean, holy moly. Gosh, you guys, I just literally watched something on the shadow side this morning. Okay. You have fate, detours, divine intervention. This is a tower. This is rapid change. You have feminine energy here. This can be a feminine who's having some kind of awakening. This can be you, Pisces, that where you're getting this energy of, something's coming, something's happening. And then you have the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Water. This is like complete clarity, complete understanding, even possibly some type of communication about some new beginning in love. But these are both beginning energies. So there's a huge change where something has an opportunity to start. I'm going to clear. I have to take one on the tower. I just can't leave it like that. I mean, it's not the tower, but it feels like it. All right. Okay, this could be a breakthrough for someone that you're dealing with. It could be a breakthrough for you, but it's something where it's like kind of been going back and forth, or it's felt a little imbalanced, or someone's been going back and forth between love and fear. With the Queen of Wands energy, this is like, I know exactly what I want. Like, this is clarity, especially with that, you know, the third eye and crown chakra lit here, and especially with the Ace of Swords energy, there's definitely some kind of breakthrough, some kind of clarity happening here. Wow. And it can be about what someone wants. It can also be like about manifesting. You know, the wands are always about bringing things down from the ethers into reality. So, whoa. All right. So let's dive into the actual tarot, shall we? Shall we? I don't know why I do that sometimes. I say it twice. All right. Here we go. For Pisces. All right, for Pisces Spirit, what do you have? Wow, okay. I felt a lot wanted to come out. Where are my glasses? Okay. Wow, all right, you got the Five of Cups. Wow, with the Star. The Two of Wands in reverse. The Ace of Wands upright. Wow, with the Five of Coins upright. And wow. Okay. All right, Pisces, this is an interesting energy. I feel very much like there is some, I don't know if this is for you or if this is for your person, but when you have the Five of Cups and the Five of Pentacles in the same reading, there's definitely change. You also have this energy, so we know there's change. But there's this energy of, it can be like someone's fears keeping them out in the cold. And with the Two of Wands in reverse here, kind of in between them, there's almost this energy of, you know, someone who, you know, their decisions were coming from a scarcity mindset. Their decisions reflected the way that they maybe had even felt about themselves. For some of you, this person may have actually even battled depression. I get that energy a little bit. And then it may not even be something that you really were aware of. But I feel an energy of someone who is very changeable, or someone who shows up and then doesn't show up and you're not really totally sure why. I haven't watched them myself, but I do know that there are videos on YouTube about depression and how it affects relationships. I just briefly saw something about it, or it was like included in something else that I was watching. And there is this energy of, you know, when you don't feel, I mean, depression plays all kinds of havoc on us. But there is this sense of like, first of all, having a hard enough time keeping yourself afloat, and then thinking about being part of a team. If your experience has been that teammates pull each other down, or are competitive, or are trying to win, then it can be really hard for you to trust that this is a relationship that's not going to actually weigh you in or be the thing that does you in. You know what I mean? Because you're barely staying afloat as it is on your own. And or you can think, wow, I can barely handle my own issues. I don't think I can handle someone else's. But at the core of the core, sometimes it's about worthiness and lack, and you know, potentially having been emotionally neglected, not really understanding how to process your emotions, not really even knowing that that may even be what's causing it, because it feels like you're feeling all of the emotions, you know. But there's just this sense of, you know, I do feel like this energy comes from the past. But it's like this person doesn't make decisions that really support them going for what they want, because they're rooted in the Five of Pentacles and the Five of Cups. They're rooted in past experiences that did not go their way, and experiences where they were left out in the cold. So this could be you, or this could be your person, Pisces. You have the Star card energy here, and this really fell out quite a bit by itself. And, you know, the Star card is this energy of healing, of hope, of a return of optimism, of, you know, it's a strengthening, it's destiny, it's fate, it's a lot of things. I'm going to clarify these cards, so we'll go deeper. We'll get to understanding it even more here in a minute. But there is something about the presence of the Star card. The Star is the only major arcana that you have in this reading, and so there has been, I feel like, some kind of healing, some kind of return of hope. This particular Star card always throws me off because of the particular graphic on it. It doesn't feel super Star cardish to me, although the Star in tarot, in the order of the major arcana, it comes right after the Tower card. And oftentimes it's like that moment where we kind of feel as though we've lost everything, or we have hit rock bottom, that we begin to surrender, and that we begin to stop trying to control everything and turning it over to the universe and allowing life to be exactly as it is. And then, you know, we gain more strength, and we gain more hope, and we gain more optimism as, you know, we begin to build again, as we begin to rise up out of that energy. And so I can definitely see that aspect of this particular Star card here. Then you have the Queen of Wands, which we just saw clarifying that Tower energy, which, yeah, okay, see, we have the Tower, now we have the Star card. This is, like, it's not the Tower card, but it feels a lot like it. And then we have the Knight of Wands, okay? And so, again, you know, especially if you are dealing with someone who's dealing with depression, this person may be extremely inconsistent. And, you know, sometimes people don't share things like that. I mean, there are a lot of stigmas around mental health, and sometimes people just don't even know that's what it is. But it has caused some kind of stagnation in a connection, I feel like, with the Two of Swords here. And the Two of Swords is a card of Libra, interesting, that we just had this eclipse in Libra. But as a Libra, I really understand this card, or I really relate to the energy of this card, because it's not always just about, you know, I don't want to see it, I don't want to open up to it, as much as it's like, I can't, you know, I'm healing, I'm ascending, I'm, you know, it can be so many different things, but it's like, you know, there is this kind of disconnect from the world. I kind of refer to this card as like a cocoon kind of energy, of where it's like, you know, you may be going through transformation, you may be going through change, or you may need to go through transformation or change. But it's where we have to sort of just disconnect from the world for a minute and just completely go within to heal, you know, to find the answer, to be able to make the decision, to be able to finally decide to open up. You know, there's a lot of reasons why we go into this, but it is, I feel like it's a stagnant card, but it is also a card of transition for me, especially because it's a 2. All right. So let's go ahead and dive in and start clarifying these energies. I almost feel this energy of, it's like, this is the person that I want, right? We're talking about the Queen of Wands. This is the person that I want. But it's like, when you're not super mature, or it's almost even that like playground boy girl kind of energy where it's like the little boy has a crush on the girl. So he like comes in and does something that literally says the opposite of I have a crush on you. And then like kind of bolts. And the girl's like, what do you want? You know what I mean? And then the boy does it again, and he's doing it to get her attention, possibly because he likes her. But there's this sense of like not actually being stable enough to show up for the thing that I want. So it's like I come in because I want it and I can't not come in. But then it's like I go away from it. So I don't know. Just take whatever resonates, however it is. Wow. So the Two of Wands in reverse is clarified by the Two of Wands upright and the Queen of Swords. So, this is someone who they're very sure about the decision they're making. They're seeing things very, very clearly. This is someone who it's like, I couldn't make a decision in the past, or, I refused to make a decision in the past, or I just sort of stalled out at the crossroads, right, in between these two twos, because I was in a position where it's like I needed to make some kind of decision and I wasn't ready, or I wasn't able, or I made a bad decision potentially, can be because I was, coming from a place of scarcity, and my choices were based on past experiences and letting those dictate my present and my future. Yeah. So, but it's like someone who's definitely with the Queen of Swords. It's like, this is someone who's gone all the way through the sword cycle, right? They've been deceived, they've been backstabbed, they've been heartbroken, they've been all of those things, and they have risen above it. And instead of letting it make them bitter, which would be a Queen of Swords in reverse, they've let it make them better. And now they're more discerning. They have deeper understanding. They've had to fight through a lot of confusion and a lot of, suffering. I think the sword cycle is a cycle of suffering, for the most part. Except when we're not suffering, and that's what the card is about, right? But there is this energy of, okay, I have clarity. I have a deeper understanding of myself. I have a deeper understanding of what I went through, why I went through it, and I have a much healthier perspective on it. And now I'm allowing that energy to inform me and to make things clear of like, oh, this is one of those times where I invest, kind of an energy, or, this person is making this decision based on, no longer kind of being in this, like, I'm afraid, or I'm overthinking, or, I'm letting these thoughts of the past, these past pains, this past hurt kind of inform my decision making and make me navigate toward fear instead of away from it. All right, let's clarify the Five of Cups. See, this person, yeah. So with the Knight of Swords clarifying the Five of Cups, this is someone who acted recklessly out of pain, out of the past. So they may have said something harsh, or they may have cut things off, or they may have bolted very, very quickly, like not really giving you a chance to explain. Like they may have come in and just been like, this is my truth and I have to tell you and I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. But their truth is that like relationships don't work out, or that they don't work out for them, or that this person's just bad at it, or you know what I mean? It's, whatever it is, but it's like they didn't really think that through. They didn't think about the long-term ramifications of it. They just sort of like rushed in, and it's almost like I feel like a kind of a desperate feeling to relieve themselves of some type of pressure here. And with the Seven of Pentacles, decisions like this catch up with you eventually, right? When, you eventually, the Knight of Swords tuckers out, right? Because he's going full speed ahead. And he's like, oh, hold on a minute. Let me reflect on this situation. And then he's like, oh, I was really investing in something that I cared about back there. And maybe I had made it past this point. Maybe I had actually moved into some like newer territory in this relationship. And maybe I cut it off too soon. Let me think about that. So, oftentimes past hurt does make us act like, not even act, but reactionary, right? Where we're not really thinking clearly about, What do I want for the long term? How do I really feel about this? What would it really be like to be without it? It's kind of this energy of this is hurting, or this is getting dangerously close to this wound, or this is starting to make me feel like this felt, or you know, da 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 da. And it's like, so then we become reactionary, and we're just, that's why we have to do the healing. That's why we have to heal the wounds, so that we don't act like that, right? So that we are responding to our emotions and to these feelings from our most intelligent self, emotionally and, you know, mentally. All right, rather than like, oh, I feel like this, I got to get out of here. Okay, so with the, oh golly. So right, with the Five of Pentacles is a major cycle in someone's life here. This is like, this can be like emotional neglect. This can be a fear of abandonment, a fear of intimacy, a fear of, you know, not being good enough. This is closing out. This is like one of those silent killers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know why, but I'm seeing like Robin Williams, and he had this quote of like, you know, or there's a picture of Robin Williams or something with a quote on it that says like, sometimes the people that come across the happiest are actually the saddest inside, or something like that. You know, this is someone with the Ten of Swords here, and I totally got this, where they were an overthinker. That with that Queen of Swords, it's like, no, they're not doing this to themselves anymore. But they're beating themselves up with their own thoughts, and that's why they're not able to close out this major cycle of this fear, and letting fear kind of dictate their decision making. And it is a major cycle, and with a major cycle, to close it, you have to make a different decision. And that's, I think, why we're seeing the Two of Wands upright clarifying the Two of Wands in reverse. This is kind of showing this person is now making a different decision, because not making a decision is making a decision, right? I mean, it is. All right. I'm going to clarify the star card last. I know this is going all over the place, you guys, but I know you're with me. If you're still here, you're with me. All right, you have the Ace of Wands with the Nine of Wands. Whenever I get the Ace and the Nine next to each other, there's an energy of the 10, right? Because the 10 comes between the 9 and the Ace. Like, it is the actual completion of the cycle, so that we can begin again. Sorry. So we have this Ace of Wands, Nine of Wands, Empress, Page of Swords combination, which is pretty interesting, because again, the Page of Swords really can reference this kind of energy of a sudden breakthrough, or suddenly it all makes sense. And we had that Queen of Swords, so it goes page to queen, right? So this is kind of like where this person realized, hold on a minute, what am I holding on to? What aren't I letting go? What is preventing me from being able to have this new beginning that I desire, right? What is it? And there's some kind of breakthrough. And once the breakthrough happens, it frees this person up to, you know, to tap into the limitlessness, to tap into the, you know, I am abundant kind of energy. Pisces, this whole reading could be about you. It really could. It could be about your person. It could even be an energy of mirroring. But there's definitely a cycle shifting here when we make a different decision. And I feel that happening, or that has happened here, even possibly for you. You with you. But this is where, you know, whenever we're in the energy of the Emperor or the Empress, right, we're not subject to fear. Not really. I mean, sometimes, yes, the Emperor can be, you know, a projected energy, where it is, you know, I'm projecting that I have it all together when I'm really sitting in a state of fear, but, or insecurity or whatever. But for the most part, these energies are where, you know, supposedly they represent all four queens or all four kings, right? And so you think about that, and you think about, well, what do all four queens represent, right? You know, this is someone who knows their worth. This is someone who has clarity, who has suffered and has moved through it. And the clarity is, you know, I've survived 100% of my worst days. I'm not going to let fear keep me in a small space, or let fear deter me from my dreams or from what I know I'm capable of or what I know I deserve. And I know I'm worthy with the Queen of Pentacles. I have clarity with the Queen of Swords. I am able to unconditionally love with the Queen of Cups, and I know what I desire, and I know how to manifest it and bring it into my life, attract it and draw it towards me. And I know how to receive on every level all of the abundance. And so we're not going to be in the energy of the Knight of Swords. We're not going to be, somebody who's responding without thinking about it. No, we're going to be someone who's examining something and going, okay, how do I transmute this? What's the higher level equation of this energy? How do I make this energy that life is bringing to me what I want it to be? How do I transmute it? How do I alchemize it? How do I bend it to my will? You know what I mean? Kind of an energy. And so with this Ace of Wands, it feels like there is this energy of getting this clarity, of making this different decision, and feeling extremely secure with the King of Pentacles in oneself and one's own ability to have stability and strength in their life regardless, with the King of Pentacles. And even underneath that, you have the Strength card. Wow. And underneath that, the 10 of Cups, and underneath that, the 6 of Cups. I mean, seriously, Pisces. So this is someone who I feel like they're getting some kind of clarity that helps them overcome some kind of lower vibrational aspect that was caused by this 5 of Cups, 5 of Pentacles energy in the first place. And I mean, definitely the King of Pentacles is very, very different than the 5 of Pentacles, right? All right, so let's look at the Knight of Wands. Okay, High Priestess in reverse with the Ace of Pentacles. This person it is like everything in them desired this relationship, right? And when everything in you desires something, there's a reason for that, and would they say like follow your bliss, or what the wand even just represents so much our soul purpose and what we are truly capable of when we tap into our own limitlessness. And with the High Priestess in reverse, this is someone who has that desire but is unwilling to tap into their own limitlessness. They're unwilling to or they're not able to, they're not maybe mature enough to, or they're not stable enough, or they don't stay in one place long enough, or whatever it is for whomever this is. There's everything in them is saying, wow, this is the thing I've been looking for. Wow, this is, my Ace of Pentacles. This is a huge opportunity to come across this Queen of Wands, but they're not listening to that. They're feeling the desire and they're responding to the desire and they're coming forward, but then they're bolting and they're acting reckless, and they're not treating this as if they understand that it is an Ace of Pentacles. So let's see. All right. For some of you, you may have had someone cheat on you in the past, and you may have felt like a fool, and you may be a little bit like not wanting to experience that again, or not wanting to go through that again, or it may be like kind of a fast trigger. And with this Knight of Wands energy, for some of you, did they have other people? Quite possibly, but is that what's really showing up for me here? No. What's showing up for me is that when someone's energy is inconsistent, it triggers something from the past within you, where possibly you felt someone made you look like a fool, or someone, their behavior, their choices, they may have had a third party, or they may have been out partying, or they may not have been taking it seriously, and you were maybe like super committed, or, I don't know, maybe you felt like you had really come together with someone and they were still sort of acting single, even possibly. I don't know what. I feel like this is different for everyone, and I could go through a lot of different scenarios, but I feel like kind of you get the gist. Or if this is your story, then you know who I'm talking about here. Could have just been a third party, and it was like you were the one that got, was left out, or was the odd man out or whatever. I don't know what this is about. But anyway, there's something here where it actually even triggers something within you. I feel like that's from your past and from a past experience where you felt like you were maybe like out on a limb in an uncomfortable way. Okay, star card energy. Yeah, there's this energy of the Seven of Swords here, and we saw that deception somewhere along the way in this reading. Oh yeah, here, right? It's like right underneath here. Wow, how crazy is that? The energy is that there is some moment here of reflection of why this didn't work when like at some other potentially some other time, or if it had an opportunity before now, why it all fell apart. There is this deeper understanding. I think it's on your part because we're talking about the Hangman, but this could be both of you, and it could be it could be a whole host of things. But there's this energy of like, now that I'm looking back on it, I see that clearly. Like, I see my own behavior possibly, and I also see the other person's behavior, right? And I also have this deep understanding, or this deep clarity on what I want and what is going to make me happy, and on my own level of emotional contentment, and possibly my own level of emotional contentment in relation to this misalignment, or to this self-sabotage, or to this energy of like kind of running from the connection, or possibly ghosting, or being in and out and going out, you know what I mean? It's kind of like there was a decision made against what someone wanted, or what someone's true will or desire was. With this star card energy, once we know what's broken, then we kind of know how to fix it. You know what I mean? Like, have you ever had something break at your house and you've been like, man, either I don't want to call a repairman, I can't afford to call a repairman, like whatever, necessity is the mother of all invention. But if you've ever tried to like, fix something, or look at something that you're not familiar with, or whatever, there's this energy of like, as soon as you figure out what's broken, like let's just say your light bulb went out in your lamp. This one I can handle. Everything else my husband does. But yeah, and you're like, oh man, what happened? Did the power go out or what? And then you go and you see the filament is actually broken in the light bulb, and you go, oh no, my light bulb burned out. You know what I'm saying? When you have the moment of what is broken, that is when it becomes infinitely clear to you how to fix it, or like where to look for help, or when you can Google this is broken, you can get the instructions, right? Or you can get what you need, and there's something about that here. All right. And then, like I said, on the bottom of the deck you have this Two of Swords, and with the Seven of Wands on the bottom of the deck of the clarifiers, there is this energy of being able to kind of fight for what you want, or to stand in there and take up space and represent yourself, and fight for what you want. I don't know. There's just this energy of, emerging out of this period, a kind of a cocoon period, where we've gone through some kind of transition or transformation, where we're seeing things differently, and we have clarity. And for some people in the Two of Swords, we could have even done quite a bit of work to heal. And now with the Seven of Wands, it's like, okay, I know what I want. I'm ready. I'm fighting for what I want. I'm not playing. Like, I'm not, there may be obstacles in my way, but I'm not afraid of them. And that came up with the elephants here. Yeah, how crazy. Okay. So yeah, so there's something about possibly obstacle removal here, even through someone's own transformation or change or breakthrough in the way of seeing or thinking about something. And it could be you, Pisces. All right. We're going to get some messages for Pisces. For Pisces. All right. Whoa! If you are dealing with a water sign, Pisces, you are getting... Wait, the timing is not quite right. See, I feel for a lot of you, there is an energy where the timing was not right. With this time machine on the bottom of the deck and just the other energies I picked up on here and now. Remember how I said with the strawberries, it's like now I think is the time, or close to now. Your true love is already a part of your life, okay? For some of you, obsession, someone in this connection is gripped by obsessive thoughts. We didn't really see the devil out here, so this can be someone who just didn't ever really let you go, or maybe you didn't let them go. I lost myself for a little while. I saved your texts and messages. All right, if you're dealing with a fire sign, Pisces. Intuition, we got that. You already know the answer you seek. Second chance, this relationship deserves a second chance. Retreat, time alone in nature will help you recharge. You were the best thing in my life. I know that I crossed the line with you and I'm not available. You know, whenever like I'm not available or a card like that comes out, I always feel like that may have been this person's energy the last time you saw them. Like they may not have been reachable. They may have been very closed off. If you're dealing with an earth sign, I know I messed up everything. I feel you leaving me behind. I mean, it can be now, but I'm just saying. And I feel so happy with you. I want you so badly. Oh my gosh. I don't know what's up with all this coughing. I wasn't doing this before. All right. If you're dealing with an air sign, finances, financial challenges are affecting this connection. I wish I could share my good news with you. I want to feel that way again. I need security. Awakening. Someone is undergoing a spiritual transformation. Abundance. You've done the work. Abundance flows to you now. I miss being with you. I love you. Yeah, you guys, there's a heavy emphasis on abundance in your energy right now. This is really a time to, you know, with the full moon, it's like we release and surrender anything that may be taking up space, anything that's ready to be let go of. You know, I ask my angels all the time, like, please help me to let go of the things that are no longer serving me. Please help me to release anything that, you know, is ready to be let go of. I say this all the time when I'm doing yoga, even when I just exhale. Sometimes when I'm just focusing on my breath, I inhale what I'm trying to, I inhale the abundance of my life exactly the way that it is. And I exhale, you know, anything that's taking up space, anything that would take away from that beautiful experience. Anyway, probably a reason why I'm telling you all of that. But it is a really good opportunity to let go of that, to let go of any lower vibrational energies that are really keeping you stuck somewhere that you don't want to be stuck, and open up to receive this abundance, and to really ask the universe to help you change in the most positive ways in this eclipse season. Anyway, you guys, I thank you so much for your support again and again and again and again. And of course, I am wishing you all the best. Until next time, thank you so much. Bye-bye.